Alright, it's the 27th of January. I am in, where am I at? It is 12:16 in the afternoon, and I'm on I-44, and I am in Missouri, and I think I'll be crossing the border here pretty shortly. You can kind of see what I'm hauling. Let's see. Well, you can't see what I'm hauling at all because it's covered with the tarp. But it's a flat steel bar. It's like 1/2 inch thick. Even though it looks really low against the deck, it's supposed to be 45,900 pounds. It's probably overestimated, but so it doesn't take a whole lot of steel to be carrying a lot of weight. I am see, at this rest area. I've been driving for quite a while now. Let's see. What have I been doing? So far I've been driving for 5 hours and 37 minutes, 6 hours and 4 minutes on duty. I'm actually taking my half-hour break, and after that I should have 5 hours and 23 minutes to get somewhere for the night. According to my GPS, I still have 10 hours and 5 minutes to go. So it's quite the journey from Iowa to Houston, Texas. But I'll get a full, 11 hours of driving in today. So I'll be curious to see how many miles I get. I'm anxious to see how far I get in one day. I've got the cruise control set for as high as it can go, so it's 64 point whatever miles per hour. I fueled up in about 2 hours ago, and so I have a relatively full tank. And I have about 7 hours and 23 minutes on my 14-hour clock, so I won't touch that, but I'll be able to get my full 11 hours in today on my 11-hour clock, which will be a first in this driving experience. So I'll let you know how it goes. Let's see. Oops. I gotta be careful where I hold this thing. So let's see. We'll just take a look to see what kind of rest area I can get, because I'll be traveling. At this point I start hitting a toll road and then a bunch of kind of smaller US highways instead of interstate. So let's see, if we do the Maverick likes us to plan at with a 50 mile per hour average speed. So if I've got 5 hours and 23 minutes, that'll put me over 250 miles, but probably less than 300. So there is I also got this book. This is the Pocket Truck Stop Guide. It's pretty awesome because it lists all the major interstates by mile marker. So you can go to a state. Let's see, I see one right now in Loves on US 75 exit 48 in Texas that I might make it to Texas. So we can go to Texas. Let's see, it's on 75, so I'll go to highway US Highway 75. It says exit 48, and at that particular location, according to this book, because I found it just that quick, Anna, Texas, it says exit 75 on Highway 75, exit 48. There are actually 3 truck stops there. Loves, which is a small, Drivers Travel Mart, which is a large, and Anna Truck Stop, which is a large. So there's going to be plenty of parking. And not to mention, I'm going to finish up my day early, so there's always tons of parking when you finish around 7. I tend to start my day at 5 a.m. Of course, I go to bed early, so I tend to need a good 8 hours of sleep and then I tend to do good driving, no drowsiness whatsoever. But that's after years of being in the Air Force and flying for my career and figuring out how to sleep and all that stuff effectively. So let's see if I choose this. See, it also says there's a Flying J Plaza at this particular exit, 48 in Texas. I like Flying J's because we can get fuel there versus the Pilots. I mean, the Loves, Maverick, they have this rule of not getting more than 50 gallons at a Loves. And I'm assuming this.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Let's see. Wow. So it's 5 hours and 22 minutes to that particular truck stop. So probably won't make it because I have to stop and do load checks. So, oops. I will cancel that, and we'll see what's the one right before that. Now, if I'm making good time, because I am traveling at 65, basically,
proceed to the highlighted route.
I like to max it out, so I try to use up as much as my clock as I can. So we'll see. Let's take a look again. And 276 was a little too far. The Choctaw Travel Plaza. There is a Love's travel stop on US 6975 in Oklahoma. So if I go to Oklahoma, I'll find a truck stop. I don't want to spend up my 10 minutes or less of this video finding a truck stop to stay. But you could, that's primarily what the day is. It's getting your load and then planning your load checks, stopping every 150 miles or 3 hours and checking your load, and then finding a place to park and doing it within what your clock allows. And the other stuff is just ancillary little paperwork things. So far so good. Now it's time to now that I have 16 minutes left of my clock, go back, make a sandwich, have a little bite to eat before we go. You can kind of see my refrigerator here. It's really easy access, so I'm able to grab a nice cold soda or a nice cold water while I'm driving safely. Otherwise, if it's buried in my refrigerator like now, I would pull that out and put it in my drink holder and be ready to cruise. So as soon as my half-hour breaks up, I'll be flying down the road, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, because I'll have another, according to this, 5 hours to get to the shipper. Of course, I got an open appointment time. I don't have to be there at a specific time, but I'll start again at 5 a.m. and get to the shipper probably around 9, 10 o'clock, and go from there, see what my next load is going to be, because that'll be Wednesday. Dropping off, picking something up. If it was like last time, I might end up, who knows? Because that's usually only a couple days. Weeks fly by pretty quick. I'm surprised doing this job. Even though I'm spending basically 11 to 14 hours working, time tends to go by quick, and I attribute that to my satellite radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio, news. If I'm listening to music, it's probably what not a lot of people are used to. So, but anyway, I like to think about things, and talk radio tends to help me pass the time and give me something to think about that's serious, other than mindless, mind-numbing stuff that you typically hear on the radio. So anyway, till next time, I'll let you know what's happening. So that 27 January. Started out at 25 degrees this morning, and now it's like 54 degrees here in Missouri, about ready to head into Oklahoma, Arkansas and Oklahoma. So we'll see what happens. Thanks.